We had a conversation earlier today where we were talking about costs of expressing different opinions, and those opinions differing from those of people that we are close to. You know, when we started this project, I think we thought a lot more about having our voices be heard in the greater internet. Sometimes I really don't think that we really thought about the possibility of the people that
around
are
us.
much closer to us. I believe that there was one episode, I think it was episode 41. And I linked you on social media, I linked Mrs. Evil, and you're like,
Yep.
listen, certain people might see that episode, and
Well,
so I had to take that tag off.
let's just keep it a blunt, bro. When I talk about finishing on faces, I don't want you to tag me like with my fiance's parents. Like, oh yeah, like he's such a good Christian boy. Yeah, so I was nutting on her face last week. Like, bro, listen, that's not a good look for me. Like, cause you know we're speaking off the cuff here, right? So let's keep it real. That was this, but like this conversation, this topic kind of pulled from, and I'll just say it. A family member of mine found out about my videos, found out about my take on abortions, and was extremely upset, ended up crying, calling me a scumbag, yada, 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 yada. And, you know, it became something where instead of digesting what I'm saying, and mind you, I don't hold my fucking opinions back, even at like, especially near the people close to me. They know what I think. So I was a little kind of taken aback why she took it so seriously, but yeah, just it was very interesting to, you know, it spurred this conversation because it's like making content and then kind of having political views, and this is what we're more talking about, the political side of things, is that, you know, how political type content can create a little bit of a divide at times. You know, at least for me personally, especially where, you know, certain hot button issues can be so sensitive. People aren't able to hear the other side. You know what I mean? Like if you don't have complete lockstep views with that person, instead of just being like, well, okay, maybe they just look at it differently. You're honest. You're ignorant. You're stupid. You're yada yada yada. You know what I'm trying to say? Like it kind of turns into something of a childish ad hominem attacks. Instead of like really having a good discussion and be like, well, like, why do you think that way? Like, why do you feel like abortion is like a terrible option? I mean, like, why do you view, you know what I mean? It kind of, instead of enabling open conversation, I feel like with certain people, especially with family, it's like I don't know, it creates an unnecessary, ugly divide.
Let's say you're out in the street and, you know, you're walking up the block or whatever, somebody steps on your foot. Right? You're going to be kind of annoyed, I would think. What if it was somebody that was close to you that did that? Are you going to be more or less annoyed?
Probably less annoyed, but I probably roast him like, yo, what the fuck, you blind? Like, you know.
Well, I guess the point that I'm getting at is that people have expectations that are higher for the people that are nearest and dearest to them.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I've known you for a long, long time, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And if, you know, when we go back to, you know, all of the conversations that we've had, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whenever somebody criticizes something that you say in a video, right? You normally take that in stride, usually, right?
Yeah.
But if it's somebody close to me or even me, there have been times where you believe that I was being too critical of some of your views. Mm-hmm. And the reaction was definitely more emotive, more expressive in those situations because, you know, we have that kind of
relationship.
I think that that's really where it is. The expectations, even if the person knows that you hold certain viewpoints, to actually hear you espouse those views, that is going to make them feel some kind of way. And usually more intense than, like you said, even if, you know, you were in person and they know what your views are and then they hear you say it in a public forum. So if we go back to episode 41, because this is where all of this really stems from, right?
Right.
Do you remember what the impetus was for us even doing it that way? With the panel discussion?
Because we wanted to have a woman, right?
Explosion.
We want because that's when we're talking about the one when I did on the boat. Is we wanted to have a woman on so we could kind of have a little
No,
bit
I'm talking
more.
about the first. I'm talking about the first.
Oh.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. So like
Right.
that meme, the meme of like the babies like with
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
So-
And, so the issue is that, see, Mrs. Evil is a regular contributor to our platform, right? Let's say the institution she works for is ultra liberal, and she has friends who are of that ilk, right? And, then the fear then becomes, what do I say to them when this comes out? Oh, what's going on with that? Even today, I got her opinion on this, and she's like, now, you say certain things on the channel, and if they see it, they're going to be wondering why I chose you. Now, personally, I'd be like, listen, they might be wondering why you chose me, but, some of them have to wonder why nobody chose them.
Rip! Damn! Ben lonely, is that what you saying? Yeah, no, but like hey,
Okay?
You're not
Right.
wrong. You're not wrong.
But at the same time,
Such an asshole.
Basically,
Basically-
Evil coming out, right?
Bruh, like legitimately just calling them all lonely single bitches would continue.
No, but again, like, people have the views that they have, and that's fine. And we can have the views that we want to have. I mean,
Yeah.
we try to be fair as much as we can, right? We try to be fair.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's a such thing as collateral damage, and I think that it's important for us to recognize that even. I mean, you just look at what we called it. We called it talking shit.
I mean,
right?
and that's
But
one of
there's
the
still
things.
a cost.
But this is the thing is, right, is it's literally called Talking Shit Podcast. You come here to hear our views or whatever if you follow this channel. And we're going to talk about some, sensitive topics. That's just the nature of the beast, right? And
We're gonna
Roe
play
versus
devil's advocate sometime too, right?
is absolutely, but like Roe versus Wade was such a massive thing going on. And I guess my counter argument to that is like we have to have respect. At the same time, I hate when people censor themselves, right? Now listen, I'm not saying like, I want a bunch of people harassing another online or some wild shit. But like if I just have a different worldview than you, I have a different perspective on things than you, I don't feel like that stands on grounds to be like completely canceled or to be like, start an argument, because I think that's childish. Because people go through things in life that shape how they are as people and how they view things at a moral level, at least. Because like for me, I know that topic, I view it as inherently wrong. I think it's a terrible decision, right? I think it's something you shouldn't do. May I look at that thing as morally incorrect? Yes, but I'm not going to sit there and be like, just constantly, oh, you're like, I'm not going to go to someone's place and like be like, you're a murderer. Like that's over the top, right?
Right.
I view things how I view it, and you can view things how you view it. And
So-
I
so
believe
let me ask you
if you're willing to stand, if you have the conviction of your standpoint, what I say shouldn't bother you.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in that. But let me ask you this question. When you say it's something you shouldn't do, are you of the opinion that not necessarily that it should be outlawed, but it is just because you can do it, you probably still shouldn't do it?
I mean, like, listen, I think when you put abortions out, like, let's say, because this didn't happen, by the way, but let's say you made abortions illegal completely, right? There's going to be an underground for it. So personally, yeah, I do think there should be medical facilities where there's that option, right? Because I would rather it be done properly and no one die.
Yeah,
Like,
we need
well, I
to
mean,
put
some-
the wire hangers away.
I mean, someone's dying, but the mother dying. So like my thing is this: it's fine if you want to have medical facilities, you can do it. Fine. I think there needs to be more of a harder look at this situation, and especially with the grounds of how Planned Parenthood was started and the racist undertones of that organization. So like for me, people want to have this discussion and like they're like if they're super liberal, right? They like, oh, Planned Parenthood, Planned Parenthood. Like, well, if you look into the history of abortions as a whole, it's not pretty at all. You know what I mean? It was kind of a way of eugenics. So like if you're liberal, I don't understand the whole pro-abortion thing because it had very fucked up ties to the black community where they were literally.
We even talked about this with the police, right? Like the origin of the profession of policing in the United States. But I just think that again, when it comes to people and their talking points, they have a very difficult time keeping that same energy and applying principles evenly across the board when they don't necessarily jive with what they believe on a certain topic. We're calling you out on that as well. I mean, we even talked about the opposite side of things. We did a video recently about our dislike of pandering, and somebody that took the opportunity to attack us when it's just like, I mean, we were calling out pandering on both sides, and usually for people that either we do like or did like at some point. I'm starting to think that I'd lean a lot more conservative on most topics as well. I mean most black people are socially conservative on most issues and always have been.
I mean, listen, you don't believe that, Thai boys are Thai lady boys are real lady boys. So, I mean, the real ladies. Whatever the fuck I said.
And the thing is that I just think that it's so difficult because people are so used to their echo chambers, and again, when after the whole thing with Rittenhouse and George Floyd and all of that, and we were really starting to talk about putting this project together. This is exactly what we wanted to combat. We wanted to combat the echo chamber.
Yeah. Well, but the problem is that I feel like it's so easy to stay in your echo chambers. You can't drag out of it. And I know with this family member, listen, I love them. I think they're a good person at heart. I think they're a little misguided.
But who isn't? You're misguided as fuck.
Absolutely, I'm ignorant, but I just think that we can have a discussion on a subject and not kind of go down to these Mohammedan attacks. About the point. Like if you want to say a bunch of cells, I think that's stupid because we were all a bunch of cells at one point.
Are you dumb, stupid, or dumb? Huh?
But
I'm still a bunch of cells. They're just trillions of
exactly,
cells.
bro. And I just think that's a foolish argument. But I mean, I think.
But the thing is that sometimes it's not even really about the argument. It is trying to manage relationships while trying to come up on YouTube. And I think that is that's the big thing here. Yeah,
I absolutely agree. So, I mean, I think we kind of tackle the subject pretty well here.
It's just, I don't know, man. It makes it more difficult. You have to kind of tiptoe through some minefields or whatever. But at the same time, like, for instance, one of my relatives, right? They used to like to argue with me on a lot of the topics that we talk about here, especially the content that I do here on this platform when it comes to men's issues. Now, this particular relative is female, but they have kind of like a masculine appearance. When they go to date women now they're being treated the same way we get treated in a dating sphere, and it's like, well, you used to argue with me about these things being the truth, and now you are being treated just the same way we are in modern society because of your appearance and because of the role that you're expected to take in these so-called dating situations because you appear to be the male in the situation.
Honestly, it kind of comes down to until people experience it firsthand. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Their worldview ain't gonna change, man. It's just it is what it is. Because some people will die on that fucking hill, regardless regardless how many nukes are dropped by. Hey, might not be a good idea to go to the Chernobyl swimming pool. Yeah, it's fine. Until it's completely set off, everything is obliterated by them. They're gonna just die on that hill. It's all they are. And
but then sometimes, like when you actually get hit with the reality of it, then it's kind of like, that's a different conversation we're having now.
exactly. So it's hey man, we all continually evolve as human beings. We keep learning, keep changing.
Yeah, but one thing that we got to make sure we do is we need to still maintain our right to express ourselves
100%.
as we see fit. Of course, we have to give the proper due to certain subjects that are sensitive. We need to give it the proper sensitivity and all of that. We're not against that, but in the end, there are going to be some people that like what we have to say. There are going to be probably more people that's not going to like what we have to say, but it's important that we say that shit anyway. To all you people watching, still love you anyway, regardless of our disagreements on different subjects. Even your friend, I mean that's your right. But, here we accept everybody's opinions, even the people that don't like me and want to say I'm an idiot and all that kind of stuff. Okay. We still want you over here. We still value your opinion here. And that's the point of the platform.
I think we kind of wrapped it up pretty nicely, man. So,
except that we didn't do one thing.
What's that?
All y'all motherfuckers that don't like what I have to say, drop that dislike, comment, and subscribe to hear more shit that you don't want to hear so that you can roast me. I'm here for it all day. I'm here for it all day. Just make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell so that when we go live or when a new video comes up, we're going to give you your opportunity to call me a bleeding heart SJW liberal that is also alt-right and is a everything-ophobe.
Yeah, and also throw grenades on his friend's social media platform. Crack hot potato, finish it on your daughter's face. Maybe that's not a good idea to share. Just maybe. But for the Talking Shit podcast.
Hey man, facials they're healthy for the skin. You're just looking out.
Yo, Talking Shit podcast. I'm Captain Paul. That's Dr. Evil. Like you said, like, comment, subscribe, dislike, whatever, man. Just make sure to comment down below. We'd be interested to hear your thoughts because you know what, man? It's very interesting when your family hates you over your politics. So.
Yeah, we need more subscribers. If we're gonna fucking sacrifice our personal lives, the least y'all could do is support the channel with a subscription. Thank you so much. See you on the next one.